Well, hey there, YouTube. So, I'm up in the corn visiting my folks for the winter holiday. A couple of weeks ago, I had coffee with a friend named Zamian. I will link her below. You guys gotta check out her channel. She's a really cool person. But she asked me, why do you call your godparents your godparents? Especially with it being that you yourself are an atheist, and you've admitted that your godfather is an atheist and your godmother was agnostic and now is Buddhist. Well, I mean, what do you think of when you hear the word godparent? Some of you might say that would be somebody who has vowed to take care of you if your parents had accidentally died. Others might say that those are people who are supposed to teach a child and mentor them in the faith. And ironically enough, that's exactly what my aunt and uncle, my father's oldest brother and his wife, have done. When I was 16, my parents were redoing their wills, and they asked me who I would want to go to if they would happen to pass away in the next 2 years before I became legal age. And because my aunt and I had always been quite close, I said, well, why not Aunt, I'm not going to say her name on camera, Aunt Agnostic, now Buddhist. And my mom called up my aunt, and they had a conversation, and my aunt graciously said yes. So, between that and the summer after I turned 16, I went down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I got to see the campus at the University of Alabama. And I got to hang out and be with my godmother for a week. And the following summer, I got to go down for 2 weeks, and that summer, I happened to charm my godfather. And over the course of the next couple of summers that I spent with them, I just had such a mind-expanding time. The conversations that we had, the thought processes, and my godparents challenged me to think outside the box, to break down those walls and those barriers that kept me from just other more open thought. They encouraged my critical thinking skills. Let's put it that way. They nurtured my critical thinking skills. And they encouraged me to think critically of everything. The environment around me, my friends, my family, and the thoughts inside my head, even when it comes to regards of faith. And, well, they were another crack in the wall when it comes to how I became an atheist, as I've explained. My godfather nurtured my critical thinking skills and exposed me to just some different thoughts. One of the conversations that we had over the years was that when he was growing up, he felt like he was a warrior and that he was preparing himself to be strong and to survive in the world. And part of that was knowledge. And so that was definitely something that I took to heart, especially when I went to college and learned so many different things about so many different things. And one of the ideas that my aunt really instilled in me, my godmother really instilled in me, was the idea that we are all connected. Whether it's the barista down at your favorite coffee shop or the person who takes away the garbage. You know, we are people who rely on each other to function in our society. You know, maybe if that barista wasn't there to make you your morning latte, you wouldn't be able to do as well at work, and that would have so many repercussions. Or certainly if the sanitation department shut down, how many repercussions that would have. Both of my godparents taught me to think about the world in a way that I didn't before I started hanging out with them. And because they nurtured me, and because they mentored to me, that's why I feel so much closer to them than I do to an aunt and uncle. I call them my godparents not just because they are my mentors and because they're the ones who would take me and raise me if my parents had died before I turned 18, but because they mean so much more to me than an aunt and uncle. And I feel so much closer to them. Because, you know, my godparents, ironically enough, met at Bowling Green, where I got my bachelor's degree. And their life is slightly more akin to my life. They didn't have kids. I'm probably never going to have kids. And so the challenges in their relationship are going to be slightly more similar to the challenges I could potentially face in my relationships. I just feel like I feel closer to them than I do to any of my other aunts and uncles. I mean, I love my parents, but I wouldn't even say but. My parents gave me the opportunity to see life from a different perspective by being so close and being so trusting of my godparents. So, yeah, that's why I call my atheist godfather and my agnostic, now Buddhist godmother my godparents. Peace out, YouTubes.